Hello and good day, class. My name is Architect Reynaldo M. Cristobal Jr., and I will be your instructor for the Computer Aided Drafting and Design 1, or CAD1. A brief introduction about myself. I've been an architect since 2009. In 2017 and 18, I studied and took the board exam for the environmental planning profession as well as the master planning profession. I've been the building administrator of the Valenzuela City Emergency Hospital since 2019. And around the same time, I've also started teaching at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. I am the EMB accredited pollution control officer of BCEH since 2020. My leadership started around 2011 at the Pope Church, Singapore. It is where I learned about leadership. In 2010 and 2018, I worked for the TID International Private Limited. It is a Singapore-based architecture and interior design firm. But before going abroad, I also worked here locally in 2008 to 2010 at JKFDDZ, which is based in Ortigas. Before that, I will work for a construction firm, Acacia Build Incorporated in Makati. And my first job was in Group 3 Design Studio in 2000 and 2008. I was the president of the UAP Makati CBD chapter in the fiscal year 2020 and 2021. I was one of the founding officers of the PIEP NCR chapter back in 2018. And currently, like you, I am studying. I am a candidate for Master in Architecture. I am currently on my thesis subject. So what are we having for today in our class? First, we will be discussing the syllabus, followed by the grading system, and then an introduction about the CAD subject, and then we will be seeing our class calendar. All right, the syllabus. Okay, like most of our subjects, we will be having 18 weeks. Okay, for the first week, we will be discussing the syllabus, house rules, introduction, like what we are having for this session. The following week, we will be discussing and we will be getting ourselves familiar with the AutoCAD workspace. We will learn on starting a new drawing, what are the basic AutoCAD settings that we need to learn prior to getting some hands-on exercises. What are the basic AutoCAD drawing commands, okay, and how are you going to save an AutoCAD drawing. On the following week, we will learn how to open that saved file, okay, and of course how we're going to close that. How are we selecting, okay, entities that is already in our drawing, okay, and then followed by other basic drawing commands such as rectangle, hatch, mirror, move, okay, etc. On the fourth week, we are to learn about uh, editing commands in AutoCAD such as trim, extend, fillet, rotate, etc. On the fifth week, we will be doing a recapitulation, okay, about this editing commands, and then we will be having an examination. On the week 6, we will be having annotation commands such as dynamic text, multi-line text, okay, we will learn about text style, leaders, etc. Okay, also we will learn about dimensioning. Okay, in week 7, we will be having an examination again. On week 8, we will learn about layering in AutoCAD, which is very important. Okay, this will make our life easier, way lot easier in working with our AutoCAD program. Okay, on the week 9, we will be having our midterm examination. After that, we will learn about AutoCAD blocks. Okay, when you uh, get introduced to this AutoCAD blocks, your life will be way more easier. Okay, AutoCAD is already, as it is already, has already made our lives easier. But with AutoCAD blocks, it will become a lot more smooth sailing. Okay. In week 11, we will be discussing about the modeling capabilities of AutoCAD, 3D modeling capabilities. In week 12, we will be doing a recapitulation, okay, before we move to another program, which is called SketchUp on the week 13. Okay. We will, similar to AutoCAD, we will familiarize ourselves with the user interface before doing hands-on exercises. We will learn about uh, importing AutoCAD drawings into SketchUp, opening, saving SketchUp models. All right. On week 14, we'll be discussing about preferences or model information setup. Okay. And of course, the basic 3D modeling commands. Okay. On week 15, we will be discussing about introduction to materials, components, styles, and scenes, followed by a final examination. Okay. After the final examination, we will be doing a class evaluation and closing. Okay. And week 18 is buffer schedule. Buffer schedule are used uh, for those weeks which we will be sometimes getting no classes. Okay. So that is for the buffer week is used for that. Okay. What do we need to read ahead of time? Okay. You can check learning CAD with AutoCAD by Dash Mihir Kumar written in 1988. You can also check the Uniform Drawing Format Manual or New CAD and Drafting Standards for Building Design and Working Drawings by Steve Fred written in 1999. Okay, so these are some of the references that are available in our library. Okay, but of course, you are free to check for other references, textbooks available in other libraries, available online. Okay, so that will help you uh, get ahead with AutoCAD and SketchUp. All right. Now let's move to the grading system. Okay, so you may have seen the memo from the DPAA. Okay, we will be going back to the grading system that was used prior to pandemic, which is basically we're going back to two major assessments. Okay, that's the main difference. Okay, for the first grading period, we'll be computing your class standing, which is basically the average of all the assessments, okay, that we will be having. But since this is a CAD class, our assessment will be mainly exercises, examinations, presentations, those three, all right? And that will form 60% of your first grading uh, period. Okay, while the midterm examination will comprise 40%. Okay, for the second grading, again, we'll be computing the class standing, okay, which will form 60% of your second grading. Take 20% will be coming from your departmental exam, and another 20% will be coming from your final examination. Okay, to get the final rating, we will just be getting the average of first and second grading. Okay, for those of you who may not yet yet familiarized with the grading here in PUP, flat 1 is 97 to 100, 125 is 94 to 96, 1.5 is 91 to 93, 175 is 88 to 90, Flat 2 is 85 to 87. 225 is 82 to 84. 2.5 is 79 to 81. 275 is 76 to 78. And flat 3 is 75. Okay. Again, 5 is a failure. INC is incomplete. The W is withdrawn. All right. Now, here are some house rules or classroom policies stated in our syllabus. Okay. A midterm grade will be entered in the SIS grading system 1 week after the midterm examination. Okay. Active class participation is expected. What do we mean by active class participation? Okay. It means completion of all assignments. Okay. Assignments are the exercises. Okay. Uh, it includes also reports or recitation, okay, everything that we will be doing basically in our class. Okay, you're expected to complete all those uh, work. All right, students are expected to come to class on time, turn in acceptable work on or before due dates, and the students will be given withdrawn from the class before the midterm if either of the following is evident. First, if the student has 20% or more unexcused absences, okay, by midpoint in the semester, or if the student has received fewer than 50% of the grade required by the midpoint of the semester. What does that mean? Okay, so suppose for computation purposes, suppose we are having 10 meetings in a in the semester. Okay, if by midpoint of the semester you have already two or more unexcused absences, okay, that may be a reason for a withdrawn mark. Okay, or if you have not submitted by midpoint at least 50%, let's say we are having 4 exercises and you have not submitted more than 2 of those 4. Okay, so that may be a reason for a withdrawn mark. Okay, so all students are required to attend all classes. As per the latest memo, we are required to have 9 classes. So that means students are expected to attend all 9 classes. Okay, but again, you may be some may be subjected to excuse absences. Okay, so cell phone and personal listening devices are not allowed. Okay, you are only allowed to use, of course, the device that you are using for our online or virtual class. Okay, but other than that, you cannot use those while we are doing our classes. Basically, what this means is please avoid distractions while the class is ongoing. Okay, all readings and assignments will be distributed during the class in, well, this was before pandemic, but since we are online, of course, it will be distributed through our MS Teams. Okay, and there will be due dates for each of the assignments. And well, prior to pandemic, we are supposed to not accept late submissions. Okay, but we are giving some consideration, uh, considering this pandemic. Okay, so instead, we will be having deductions, okay, for late submissions. Okay, so class procedures. Okay, there will be 3 major examination. That's midterm, departmental, and finals. Okay, but for this sem, uh, let me confirm if there will be a departmental exam for CAD, specifically for CAD. Okay, students with special needs may write and register at the office of the dean or the department chairperson. Okay, so this class is part lecture and part laboratory. Okay, mainly laboratory, so there will be a lot of hands-on. Okay, now let's go to the course, the subject. Okay, so what is CAD? What is computer aided drafting and design? It is the use of computer systems to assist in the creation, modification, analysis, or optimization of a design. Okay, the use of computer systems. Okay, CAD software is used to increase the productivity of the designer, improve the quality of design, improve communications through documentation, and create a database for manufacturing. So these are based from the author Narayan in 2008. Okay? So basically, ang sinasabi dito, yung daw paggamit natin ng computer systems such as AutoCAD, okay, such as Revit, such as SketchUp, all of these collectively is known as computer-aided drafting and design. Okay, we use all these programs to create, modify, analyze, and more importantly, optimize a design. Okay, to get the best, okay, out of the design. Okay, we optimize designs using computer programs or computer systems. Okay, so AutoCAD is an industry leading commercial CAD software. Okay, now don't be confused. Earlier we were discussing collectively CAD. Okay, now what we are referring to here is the software, the brand made by Autodesk, okay, which is called AutoCAD. Okay, it is a industry leading commercial CAD software. Okay, it is used by AEC or architecture, engineering, and construction industry to generate and optimize two-dimensional and three-dimensional designs. Okay, so when we say AutoCAD, okay, because there are uh, some misconceptions that AutoCAD is only used for two-dimensional designing or drafting, but actually it is also capable of doing three-dimensional designs. Okay, AutoCAD is a widely used software program that can help you draft construction documentation. Okay, explore design ideas, visualize concepts through photorealistic renderings. Yes, AutoCAD is capable of that too, and simulate how a design performs in the real world. Okay, this is according to Autodesk themselves. Okay, so what we can see here is an example of an AutoCAD two-dimensional drawing. Okay, so gano'n na ba katagal itong CAD, okay, in the industry? Okay, CAD was introduced, okay, in 1963. Okay, this is what is considered as the mother program, which is called Sketchpad. Okay, but AutoCAD himself, the brand made by Autodesk, was introduced to the public in 1982. Okay, here in your screen, you can see a brief timeline of how and when the AutoCAD program started. Okay, as mentioned earlier, the very first version was introduced to the market in 1982. Okay, and then the following year, two versions were released. Okay, for me personally, I was introduced to the world of AutoCAD in uh, release 14 or R14. Okay, that was released to the market in 1997. Okay, but actually, started doing AutoCAD in 2002. Okay, but around that time, our computers in PUP is not yet capable of handling the program, the latest program. Okay, so what we are using back then was the release 14, which was released in 1997. Okay, sorry, I need to correct myself. Okay, uh, we started doing AutoCAD in, if I'm not mistaken, third year. That was 2004. Okay, so there is already a 2004 release back then, but we are still using the 1997 or the release 14. Okay, so and then almost yearly, a new version of AutoCAD was released. So bakit nga ba natin kailangan matutunan ang computer-aided drafting and design? Ano ba ang advantages nito? Okay, so of course, kung hindi naman ito advantageous, di naman tayo mag-move from the manual drafting to AutoCAD. Okay, so basically, according to an article in LinkedIn, okay, which I totally agree with, there are basically 5 advantages of AutoCAD. Okay, first is the data storing and accessibility. Second is the three-dimensional view capability. Third is when it comes to revisions. Fourth is its speed and time. Okay, and lastly, accuracy. Ano ba ibig natin sabihin dyan? Bakit nga ba advantageous ang CAD pagdating sa first, file storage? Okay, one of the primary advantages of CAD drafting is that the drawings need not to be filed and stored in folders, unlike in manual drafting. Okay, in my very first office after graduating, in group 3, we have this racks. Okay, merong mga racks na ganyan. Doon namin sinasabit yung mga 20 by 30 namin na mga tracing paper, okay, mga blueprints, okay. And imagine for a single project, gumagamit kami ng around siguro at least 30 to 40 na 20 by 30 sheets. So imagine in a year, ilang projects ang ginagawa namin. Okay? And throughout the years, kung ilang racks na yung na gamit namin at gaano nakalaking space ang ino-occupy nito sa office. That was before AutoCAD. Okay? But with CAD, ayun nga, pwede natin siyang i-save. Okay? Dito sa ating locally, sa ating computer or laptops. Pwede natin siyang i-store in external hard drives. Pwede na rin i-store sa cloud. Okay? So, this is one of the main advantages of AutoCAD. It saved us, it saved architectural firms a lot of physical space. Okay. Also, it's also conserving the environment because the use of paper was reduced. Okay. Second is the capability of three-dimensional views. Okay. When I was studying architecture, one of the lessons na talagang tumatak sa akin was by our architect Ray Gabitan here in CAD. He mentioned something before na talagang na-realize ko na, oo nga no, ganun nga ang architecture. Kasi before, sa early years ko sa architecture education, pag nagdo-draw ako, pag nagde-design ako, I was looking at the paper and I was drawing two-dimensionally. I was creating spaces, three-dimensional spaces two-dimensionally. So, the problem is hindi natin na kikita yung three-dimensional aspect, okay, nung ginagawa natin. Which is, in fact, okay, yung end product ng architecture is three-dimensional. Okay, so hindi natin nakikita yung effect ng lighting, okay, hindi natin nakikita yung effect ng environmental uh, factors, like for example, yung direction ng wind, okay, yung kung nasa anong angle ang sun, at ano yung shade and shadow na napoproduce nito. Okay, so when you are drawing and thinking two-dimensionally, planning and designing two-dimensionally, hindi natin ito nakikita, hindi natin nabibigyan ng importansya at consideration. Okay? But with AutoCAD, AutoCAD made that possible. Okay? Pangatlo is revisions. Okay? Imagine when meron kayong plate. Okay? So, magdodraw kayo. Siyempre, papakonsult natin yan sa ating advisor. No? Pa-present natin sa advisor yan. Ngayon, magko-comment si advisor. Okay? Siguro dapat ito, ang access nito dito sa side na to. Itong room na to, liitan natin. Ito ang lakihan natin. Okay? So on and so forth. Okay? Pagdating natin sa actual work, okay, in the corporate world, ganun din. Pag nag-practice tayo, ganun din. Pagko-comment si client, ganituhin natin, ibahin natin yung ganito, adjust natin si ganyan. Okay? Imagine mo yun, lahat yun, gagawin mo yun from scratch. Okay? With the manual drafting. Okay? Pero, with AutoCAD, you did not do those manually from scratch. Okay? Because meron na siyang base file na mas madali mong may edit. Okay? Kasi naka-save na siya. Okay? Yung working file mo electronically. Okay? Unlike kapag manual, yung mismong paper, okay, magpupura ka doon. Pag medyo minalas-malas ka, magkakaroon ng smudge yung papel mo, dudumi yung drawing mo, okay, tapos ang dami mong gagawing adjustments, okay. Napakalaking ginhawa na meron kang electronic file kung saan pwede mong gawin yung revisions na pinapagawa sa'yo ng either ng boss mo or ng kliyente mo. Okay? Next is yung speed and time. Okay? And because meron ka nang working file na save electronically, mas madali nating nagagawa yung trabaho with the help of AutoCAD. Okay? So, yun yung pang-apat na advantage ng AutoCAD. And lastly is yung accuracy. Okay? In manual drafting, all objects are drawn or rather all the objects drawn must be of correct size and alignment. Each object need to be manually verified and dimensioned. Diba pag nagdo-drawing ka, talagang check mo yung scale, okay? Do-drawing mo ng let's say gumagamit ka ng 1:100 na scale. Okay? Kapag ka dinadrawing mo, let's say for example is 30 centimeters, ano mo yun, i-verify mo yun, i-check mo yun, i-draw mo yun, i-check mo talaga maigi doon sa scale mo, nasa ng 30 centimeters. Okay? And most of the time, most often than not, hindi natin nakukuha yung eksaktong dimension. Okay? Down to the last millimeter. Okay? But with AutoCAD, it is never a problem kasi down sa pinakamaliit na dimension, okay, nakukuha ni AutoCAD kahit i-zoom mo na i-zoom yan, kaya niyang kuhanin yung pinakamaliit na dimension na kaya mo. I mean, na kailangan mo. Okay? So, let's get started. Okay? So, ano ba yung kailangan natin kapag tayo ay gagamit ng AutoCAD? First, okay, yung operating system, okay, must be at least if you are going to install an AutoCAD 2018, okay, which is the latest or the oldest in the latest batch of AutoCAD programs, you need at least Windows 7, okay? Either 32-bit or 64-bit, okay? Your CPU must be at least 1 gig or faster, okay? And then your memory should be at least 2 gigabytes, okay? But it is recommended to have 4 gig memory. Pero kung 2 gig, kaya naman niyang i-run ang AutoCAD 2018. Ang display resolution, at least 360 by 768, okay? Although ang recommended ay 1920 by 1080 with true color, okay? And then for the display card, adapter capable of 136768 true color, okay? And DirectX 9 or 11, okay? So yan po kapag 2018. What if yung ating pong system or desktop or laptop ay hindi po kayang 2018? I would recommend the bare minimum po na AutoCAD 2009. Okay, so if we are going to study AutoCAD, I would recommend na at least 2009 po ang ating gamitin kasi marami na pong latest versions na lumabas. Okay, so at least po sana ang ating operating system ay Windows Vista, okay, either 32 or 64-bit, okay, at least Intel Pentium 4, okay, ang ating processor, at least 1 gig, okay, pero recommended talaga is 2 gig, pero bare minimum is 1 gig na memory. Display resolution is 1280 by 1024. And then for the display card, for Windows Vista, a Direct 3D capable workstation class graphic card, okay, with 128 MB or greater. Okay, yun po ang ating kailangan for AutoCAD 2009. Okay, now let's familiarize ourselves with some of the basic hotkeys or shortcuts in AutoCAD. Okay? So, let's say for example, itong nasa screen niyo, ito yung inyong keyboard. Okay? Marami kayong makikitang hotkeys or shortcuts dyan, okay? Pero what I would need you to memorize ngayon pa lang, okay, ay ito, yung mga function keys. Okay? Yung F1, that is for help. Okay? Almost lahat naman ng programs. Yan yung ating hotkey for help. Okay? F1. Yung F2 is kapag gusto ninyong ipakita ni AutoCAD yung history ng inyong mga ginamit, okay, na commands, yung history ng inyong interaction with AutoCAD. Okay? Sa ating next session, maintindihan nyo kung ano ibig sabihin natin dyan. Yung F3 is kung gusto ninyong i-turn on or off yung OSNAP mode. Okay? Your Object Snap mode. Okay? And then, the next na kailangan kong kabisaduhin ninyo is yung F7. Okay? Which is turning on and off yung grid mode. And then, yung F8, turning on and off yung ortho mode. And then, F10, turning on and off yung polar mode. Okay? And then, please also familiarize yourself with F11 and F12. Okay, yung F11, yan po yung halimbawa, meron kayong specific na OSNAP. Okay, pero hindi dun sa mismong OSNAP ang kailangan mo. Okay, itatrack ni AutoCAD for you using yung OSNAP point as a basis. Okay, yun yung F11. Okay, we will see that on the following meeting. Okay, and then yung F12 is kung gusto mong i-turn on or off yung dynamic input mode. Okay, and then ito yung mga nasa letters, yung quick save, right lock, erase, redraw, yan. We will get to know that as we move along in our CAD class. Okay, so that is for the keyboard. Okay. So itong mga dinidiscuss natin, ito uh, let's say na ito yung mga minimum na kailangan nating malaman or maintindihan bago tayo humawak ng AutoCAD program. Okay? Pagdating naman sa mouse, ito yung mga kailangan nating malaman or maintindihan. Okay? So basically, meron tayong tatlong buttons. Okay? Yung left, yung middle, and yung right button. Okay? Yung left button, yan po ay inyong gagamitin sa pag-select ng objects or pag-pinpoint ng location sa AutoCAD program. Okay? Yung right, yan po ay inyong gagamitin kapag gusto ninyong palabasin yung other menus. Okay? So, makikita nyo dyan sa inyong screen, nakalagay shortcut menus. Sa ilalim nun, yun po yung tinutukoy na shortcut menus. Okay? Pag nag-right click kayo, lalabas dyan recent input, ayan, clipboard, etc. Okay? Yung middle button naman, yan ay ginagamit for panning and zooming. Okay? Yung pan, nakikita nyo yung icon, parang kamay. It is as if i-move nyo yung buong screen or yung papel, okay? Left, right, up, down. Yung buo, okay? Yung other option naman, yung zoom, yung nakikita nyo ang icon niya ay parang magnifying glass, okay? Ang ginagawa niyan ay zooming in, palalakihin niya, or zooming out, paliliitin niya yung drawing. Okay? So, paano natin ginagawa yung magkaibang function na yan ng middle button? Okay? Kapag pinrest and hold mo yung middle button, yun ay magiging pan tool. Okay? Pero pag in-scroll up or down mo yung middle button, yun ay magiging zoom tool. Okay? So, yan po ang pagdating sa mouse. Okay? Now, the very first thing that you are going to do kapag ikaw ay mag-AutoCAD ay of course, buksan yung AutoCAD program. Okay? At yan po ay ma-identify ninyo sa inyong desktop. Okay? Through the icon ng AutoCAD program. Okay? And on your screen are the different logos or icons na ginamit ng AutoCAD throughout the years. Okay? Yung very first is yung nasa upper left, okay, that was used by AutoCAD from 1982 to early 1990s. And then yung inabutan ko na version ng logo or icon is ito, yung nasa second from the left upper portion. Yan po yung version ng AutoCAD nung release 13 and 14 that was used in the late 1990s. Okay? And then, ang ginagamit ngayon ni AutoCAD is ito, yung nasa lower right. Okay? 2018 to present. Yan ang icon ng AutoCAD. So, yan po yung hahanapin ninyo sa desktop ninyo kapag i-open ninyo si AutoCAD program. Okay? Now, pag nag-open na kayo, dinouble click nyo. Of course, to open a program, you use double click. Dinouble click nyo ngayon yung icon ni AutoCAD. Okay? If it is your very first time to open the AutoCAD program, may lalabas na ganito. Okay? Yung welcome screen. Okay? Dito sa welcome screen, meron kayong option to either, okay, nakikita nyo yung word na get started, di ba? Tapos, merong icon dyan, start drawing. That is the first option. Okay? You start a drawing from scratch. Okay? Yung second option, yung nasa baba niyan, is open file. Okay? Yung open file, that is kung halimbawa, meron na kayong nakasave na AutoCAD drawing. Okay? So, dyan nyo siya ma-access. I-click nyo yung open file. Okay? And then yung the rest, hindi nyo masyadong gagamitin yan, are open a sheet set, get more templates online, and explore sample drawings. Okay? Yung nasa right naman, makikita nyo dyan, meron nakalagay recent documents. Okay? Yung recent documents, yan ay yung mga latest ninyo na mga inopen at minodify na AutoCAD drawings sa inyong local file storage. Okay? Diyan nyo siya makikita. Okay. Now, so pag halimbawa nag-click kayo ng start new drawing, okay? So ito yung una ninyong makikita, okay? Pag nag-open na kayo ng new drawing, okay? So this is what we call the user interface. Okay? And it is very important na malaman natin ang mga bahagi ng user interface ni AutoCAD. Okay? Kasi dito tayo makikipag-interact with the AutoCAD program. First, yung nasa upper left corner, yan po yung letter A or yung logo, yan po yung tinatawag natin na application button. Okay? When you click the application button, may iba't ibang options na lalabas. Okay? And then, yung katabi niyan is yung quick access toolbar. Okay? Which is basically lahat yan nasa loob din ng application button. Pag kinlik mo si application button, nandun din yung mga yan. Okay? Pero kaya tinawag na quick access is if you need to, let's say, quickly save yung dinodrawing ninyo, meron dyang icon ng floppy disk. You just click that at isi-save niya yung program. Okay? Next is yung title bar. Okay? Itong title bar, dyan nyo makikita kung ano yung file name ng drawing na ginagawa ninyo. Okay? Next is yung view cube. Okay? Itong parang bilog na may square, tapos nakalagay doon sa bilog is north, west, east, south. Yan yung tinatawag natin na view cube. At maaari ninyong baguhin yung view ng inyong drawing by just clicking certain portions. Let's say, for example, kinlik ninyo yung upper right corner ng cube. Okay? Pag kinlik nyo yan, mapupunta kayo sa view na yung upper right corner na yon, or rather yung you are viewing the drawing as if you are at that upper right corner. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag natin na in canvas controls. Okay, ito which is ito yung text na to. Okay, makikita nyo dyan kung naka wireframe pa kayo. Okay, kung naka shaded ba yung inyong viewing. Okay, next is yung start tab. Okay, itong start tab na to, yan yung unang lalabas kapag kumbaga ito yung default. Okay, pagka nag-start kayo ng bagong drawing. And then yung file tab. Okay, parang pagka kayo ay gumagamit ng Excel file, meron kayong mga nakikita na tab sa ilalim, 'di ba? So, ito yung equivalent nun. Pwede nyong switch from one tab to another by just clicking on this file tabs. Okay? And then itong mahaba na to, yan. Okay, nandiyan yung line, circle, arc, etc. Yang buong yan, ang tawag dyan is ribbon. Okay? Now, this is an addition by the AutoCAD program. Okay? Back in the day, nung una kami nag-handle ng AutoCAD, wala pa to. Okay? At ang only method by which the user communicates with the AutoCAD program is just by typing yung mismong command. Okay? Let's say you want to draw a line. You type the word line or you hit the hotkey or the shortcut command. Let's say for example L. Okay? Ganun ang dating pag-i-input ng command or pakikipag-communicate kay AutoCAD. Okay? But nung lumabas si SketchUp program, okay? Si SketchUp, ang communication naman ni user kay SketchUp kasi is by clicking icons. Okay, merong mga icon doon na halimbawa nakalagay doon rectangle. Okay, so i-click mo yung icon na yon and then pupunta ka sa drawing area at magdodraw ka ng rectangle. Okay. nung na-introduce ni SketchUp yun, eventually, lumabas ito yung ribbon ni AutoCAD. Okay? And it applies the same principle. Okay? So, i-click mo na lang dyan. Kung gagawa ka ng line, click mo na lang yan. Okay? Then, punta ka sa drawing area. Okay? So, same principle. Okay? Yan yung tinatawag na ribbon. Okay? And since na-mention ka na sa drawing area, itong block area na to, yan, na may mga grid, yan yung tinatawag natin na drawing area. And that is where you can see your output, your drawings. Okay? Tapos itong XY na to, nakikita nyo, User Coordinate System or UCS. Okay? Yung axis na yan. Okay? Yan yung makikita kung nasan si X-axis at si Y-axis. Okay? Then ito, nasa right side, ito yung tinatawag na navigation bar. Okay? So, punta tayo sa ilalim. Okay? Itong mahabang stretch na to, sa ilalim, yan yung tinatawag natin na command line. Okay? Earlier, nabanggit ko na kabisaduhin ninyo, di ba, yung mga function keys. Okay? And then, yung meron doon, yung F2, if you want to toggle on and off yung text screen. Okay? Ito yung, kumbaga, shorter version ng text screen. Okay? In which, ang makikita nyo lang is yung latest command na ginagamit ninyo. Okay? Kaya tinawag na command line. If you want to see the full list, okay, you click F2 para makita nyo yung lahat ng history ng ginamit nyo na command from the recent one up. Okay? Then dito sa lower right, makikita nyo dyan yung tinatawag na status bar. Okay? And then, katabi nyan yung workspace switching menu. Okay? So, next session natin, pupunta na tayo mismo dito sa user interface na to. Okay, at makikita nyo lahat ng areas na yan. Okay? Okay. Now, ang tanong is, paano ba natin gagamitin si AutoCAD? Okay? Or, paano ba tayo makikipag-communicate kay AutoCAD? Okay? There are various ways, but here are the top 3. Okay? By the way, commands are the instructions, okay, that you tell the program, okay, with regards to what to do. Okay? Yung commands, yan po yung ginagamit natin para sabihin kay AutoCAD na ito yung gusto mong gawin niya. Okay? And here are the top 3 methods, okay, of communicating with the program, of inputting commands. First is just, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, kagaya sa paggamit ng SketchUp, just make a selection on the ribbon or toolbar. Okay? Click lang kayo doon. Halimbawa, nakita nyo doon, may icon ng line. Just click that on the ribbon. Okay? So, alam na ni AutoCAD na gusto mo mag-drawing ng line. Okay? Pangalawa is by entering a command in the dynamic input tool tip. Okay? Yung dynamic input, again, earlier, dun sa function keys, I mentioned, kabisaduhin yung sum of the function keys. And I mentioned kanina yung F12. Okay? Yung F12, okay, yung katabi ng cursor. Okay? Katabi ng cursor, merong lumalabas doon. Okay? Halimbawa, nag-type ka, L. Okay? Ipe-predict ni AutoCAD kung ano yung gusto mong gamitin na command. Okay? May kakaroon na option. Similar to this, yung nasa lower right corner. So, ipe-predict niya. Halimbawa, tinype mo L. Huhulaan niya, ano ba gusto mong gamitin na command? Is it layer, layer merge? Okay? Ayan. Isolate mo ba yung layer or line? Okay? So, magpe-predict siya. May mga options siya. I-click mo dyan sa dynamic input tooltip. Okay? And ito, yung nasa lower right na to, ito yung tinatawag, yung pangatlong option, which is entering a command in the command window or command line. Earlier, doon sa ating interface, di ba, yung nasa pinakababa. Okay? Yung tinatawag na command line or command window. Ito-type mo doon. Okay? So, ang difference ni command window or command line kay dynamic input, okay, Si dynamic input is kung nasaan yung cursor mo, doon mo makikita. Okay? Kung ano yung tinatype mong command. Okay? Pero basically, pareho lang ng principles yung dalawang yan. Yung difference lang is yung location. Okay? Si command line or command window, lagi yan nasa baba. Okay? Si dynamic input is kung nasaan yung cursor mo. Doon mo siya makikita yung options mo. Doon mo makikita yung kung anong command ang pinipredict ni AutoCAD na gusto mong ipagawa sa kanya. Okay? Again, the way we communicate with the program is what we call commands. Okay? After you enter a command, let's say for example, in this case, P line, okay? You may see a series of prompts displayed at the command line. Okay? Kasi nga, communication, di ba? Communicating with the program. It means, meron kang sinasabi kay AutoCAD at the same time, pag meron kang sinabi na gusto mong gawin, sasagot ngayon sa'yo si program. Yun yung tinatawag na, sinasabi rito na you may see a series of prompts. So, magre-respond sa'yo. Halimbawa, parang sinabi mo, for example, P-line. Okay? After that, okay, sasagot sa'yo si AutoCAD. Lalabas yan. Specify next point. Or, tinatanong ka niya kung gusto mo na bang mag-specify ng point? Kasi di ba yung line is a series of points. Okay, di ba? So, merong beginning point, merong end point. Okay. So, pag nag-type ka ng P-line, okay, tatanong sa'yo ni AutoCAD kung mag-i-specify ka na ba ng beginning point. Okay, or yung tinatawag niyang next point. Or, tinatanong ka niya, or gusto mo bang specifically ibahin? Baka kasi ang gusto mo hindi straight line, baka ang gusto mong gawin ay arc. Okay? Baka gusto mo half width, or gusto mong specify yung length, gusto mo bang i-undo yung P-line, or gusto mong specify kung gaano kalapad yung P-line, yung width. Okay? So, itong series of prompts na to, okay, you are expected to respond kay AutoCAD kung ano specifically yung gusto mong ipagawa. Okay? So, ito sa lower right corner, makikita nyo yung example nga for the command na P-line. Okay? So, halimbawa, yung word na arc, half width, length, undo, width. Nakikita nyo may mga letter dyan na iba yung color. In this case, sa lahat ng 5 words na to, yung first letters, ang iba ang kulay. Ibig sabihin nun, yun yung hotkey. Okay? Or shortcut key. Para, let's say for example, gusto mo gawing arc instead na straight na P-line. Ang hotkey para gawin mong arc ay A. So, ipipress mo A. Okay? Bawa, gusto mong i-undo, ipipress mo U. Okay? Kasi yun yung naibang kulay. Okay? So, that is how you communicate with the program. Okay? So, that ends our introduction to the AutoCAD program. We will now go to the last part of this session, which is our class calendar. Okay? So, on our first week, we are doing introduction, which is this session, followed by a session or a lecture on the basic commands, okay, viewing, geometry, and precision in AutoCAD, okay. And then the week after the Holy Week, we are going to do another lecture on layers, okay, and properties, and then followed by a lecture on modifying commands and AutoCAD blocks. Okay? So, ito yung actual na susundin natin na lecture to ensure na wala tayong ma-miss out. Okay? On May 1st week, we are doing an activity. So, after learning the basic commands, modifying commands, AutoCAD blocks, gagawa po tayo ng floor plan. Okay? Followed by a lecture on layouts, dimensions, notes, and labels. Okay? And then another activity, we will be doing elevations. Okay. And then midterm, you will be tasked to do a floor plan, elevation, and section. Okay. To see kung natutunan ba natin yung dapat nating matutunan. Alright. On June, we will be doing an activity number 3, which is structural drawings naman. Okay. And then followed by a lecture and activity with regards to three-dimensional capabilities of AutoCAD. Okay. Next is we will be doing plumbing drawings in AutoCAD. Okay. Which is actually will need you to apply your learnings on AutoCAD three-dimensional capability. Okay. And then we will be doing a recap. Okay. And then lecture 6 will be an introduction to the SketchUp program, followed by the basic commands and 3D modeling capabilities of SketchUp, and then an activity, okay, that will require you to apply your learnings about 3D modeling in SketchUp, and then final examination, which you will need all your learnings when it comes to AutoCAD two-dimensional drafting and SketchUp three-dimensional modeling. Okay, and the last week of July, we will be doing an overall recapitulation. Okay, so that's it. If you have questions, queries, clarifications, you may reach me at rmcristobaljr@pup.edu.ph or arcraft.pupcafa@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. This is our session 1 of the Computer Aided Drafting and Design 1 class. Thank you.